Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Challengers League presented by Subway. I'm Mazel, and we have Hawk with us once again, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see how Mirage try to bounce back after what was a very chaotic but very one-sided game for FlyQuest Challengers.
Chaotic is a brilliant word to describe what just transpired because, yeah, Mirage Alliance farmed Sajed like he was corn on the bottom side. Prismo super fed. Will, he's off to a good start. Unfortunately, their solo lanes got absolutely blasted. And Surdy ran over the game on Darius. And it all happened in less than 27 minutes.
I love that we started the game with both solo laners for FlyQuest Challengers getting 2 solo kills apiece on their respective matchups, and then it just evolved to absolute chaos. Again, we saw Surdy, a predator in waiting, just absolutely hunting people on the map, and now that we think about it a little bit more, it is Fearless. We will not have those picks that FlyQuest dominated so much with. They had the Exodia comp, it felt like, but now we get to the brass tacks of how they can approach this second game, and specifically what went wrong for Mirage that they can fix going into it.
Yeah, and really, see, here's the problem, is what we can fix going into it is, well, try not to lose terribly in our solo lanes. They had multiple early solo kills go down, because I want to give them a lot of credit. Their game plan was actually really sound. I mean, they had an avenue that they wanted to attack. They left through the smolder for a reason, and they tried to get it going. But it's just hard to win games when, you know, the rest of the map is just not going well. And Will cannot be everywhere at once. The poor guy needs a break at some point. He actually does have to farm jungle camps, contrary to what my solo queue teammates may believe.
But isn't that the story of the split? Or Mirage Alliance? Will needs to be everywhere at once, and he cannot. He is not Spider-Man. He is not a superhero. He's just a human being trying to play a video game. And I think that's where Mirage Alliance need to hone in a little bit more to find that stability to let Will play his game and play around RJS, who has been another big spotlight for us and a big bright point in some of the big wins, at least, that they've fewly picked up for Mirage Alliance. But on FlyQuest side, I think you just try to pick apart the meta a little bit, see what you can get as we take a look at those Fearless bans.
Yeah, no Karma, no Smolder available. So they do need to pick apart the meta a little bit. They got to go down the tier list a little bit, but they had the tech picks up in the top side, the Graves, the Darius as well. And for Mirage, no Varus. They insta-slammed that one-on-one. It felt like the plan was to attack the Smolder with that pick. It didn't work. And assuming FlyQuest bans the Smolder themselves this game, I wonder what direction Prismo goes to try to set himself up next game.
I think you could find some different avenues, but it's going to start by figuring out what the first phase is looking like. We also have the switch up of sides, so FlyQuest Challengers are going to be on the blue side for the second game with Mirage Alliance on the red, and that does have a lot of significance. We see so much talk around the meta in the world right now is, you know, all the versatility you can have with the B1 picks.
Yeah, a lot of versatility. Now, a lot of the B1s not really there. Ori Senna already getting banned out. They cannot pick the Smolder. They cannot pick the Karma. I mean, honestly, what direction do you start looking? I've started seeing, like, an LPLCK, like, early pick Aries. It feels kind of weird, though. We've seen some early pick Hways in, like, LCS. Vi is another one that has persisted throughout. But I think a big question for me, does FlyQuest ban Karma because they can't first pick it this game?
I think it might be a good choice at least, but we'll see. It's not necessarily been something in the wheelhouse of Mirage Alliance, and trying to find maybe what fits RJS's comfort a little bit more might be the choice. The Kalista, Poppy, Senna banned, likely candidates already. The Gone, the Talia also banned, as well as the Ashe Orianna from Mirage Alliance.
Karma let through. Now, you talk about not really being in their wheelhouse. Dardoch has actually only played one game of Karma, and that's the only game of Karma across the entire team for Mirage Alliance so far this year. But I just feel like the champion is still so strong, even on 14-5, that you've got to pick it. So I really hope to see that one R1. Pair it alongside any AD carry in the game, and you'll probably be just fine. Xin Zhao first pick. We saw that in game 3 between DSG and AoE just earlier today. I think it makes a lot of sense. Gets a nice early skirmish jungler that Shaden can look to make plays on.
And I think Shane was going to be looking for a little bit of redemption for that game. I think he was a little bit more of the quieter piece to the puzzle of FlyQuest Challengers, which is not a normal occasion for him. So at least he has that very high meta sustainability of the Xin Zhao. On the other side, we get the Wukong locked in for Will.
Am I seeing double? I thought we did this earlier with the DSD AoE series. We have the Wukong Xin Zhao handshake. Nah, it's good. I mean, and I'm glad to see Wukong coming back. Again, it's like the moon phases. As long as the champion's out of the meta for a few months, I don't mind if it comes back into the meta for a few months. And Wukong recently buffed on 14.5. It is one we're cropping up this week. Early pick Silas. That is bold.
I'll just say little background information. Will almost has an 80% win rate on Wukong across his career in competitive, which is not too bad. 24 games.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby. I am interested in the Silas pick, kind of playing the hand out and seeing what FlyQuest is going to kind of answer with it. The Cassiopeia, pretty damn good answer into the Silas.
I cannot fathom why RJS thought R2 Silas was the move. Okay, here's maybe what it is. One game of Silas on the split, and they won! And Mirage Alliance doesn't have a lot of those, so maybe it's a confidence pick, right? However, Quad with a counter pick. He got counter picked last game, and he was up like 30 CS and 2 kills. I'm terrified for what is about to happen to this poor Silas.
Well, apparently, Surdy has a theme today, and it's axes. As he went with the Darius in game number one.
Angry men holding axes.
Angry men holding axes. Okay, cool. I think we found the niche for Surdy.
Top laner's dream.
Does get the Olaf, though. A very interesting mix of heavy skirmishing capabilities in this team, right? The Xin Zhao Olaf not only, but with that sustained firepower of the fangs for the Cassiopeia. The Trundle locked in, though. Pretty nice little niche pick here from Mirage Alliance.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. This was the old school counter to Xin Zhao when he was super meta back in, I think it was season 11, season 12. Somewhere back then, Xin Zhao was really, really good, and people were picking Trundle into it. And I think Trundle is actually really strong. I think he had to be nerfed a patch or two ago after getting buffed on 14-2. I could be mistaken on that. He was a little too strong. We had some pop-off performances on the champion in qualifiers, and I like to see this one getting pulled out from Will. Also, against an immobile champion like the Cassiopeia, the pillar can have a lot of effect, and it can be good setup.
I think it's going topside for Alorum. Because I think the Wukong would go over for Will.
Or it could be but it could be Wukong top, too.
It could be.
Wukong top
I would be interested.
Yeah.
The one thing is the Trundle pillar also helps into the Olaf, but you can't get the unstoppable stop there, so you don't get the knockback,
Right.
so you can still run around it. I'm very curious to see how the second phase plans out, because we're getting bot lane focus fully from Mirage Alliance, and then the Nautilus ban here signifying trying to take away some of that stable picks in the bot side.
So, this is really interesting now, because I feel like based on the players, Trundle top Wukong jungle makes more sense, but I feel like the Wukong top into the Olaf doesn't sound that bad, because Wukong will get the stacking armor in the longer trades, and he's also just very elusive, which is something you kind of need when you play against Olaf. It's for a similar reason why actually Wukong is a good pick into Darius. We'll find out if this is where these ones are going, but regardless,
I love that they're playing with the draft in this game, though. They need some kind of comeback, right? They need some kind of something to jump off of. The Jinx locked in for Prismal, too.
And it feels like that is Mirage Alliance is trying things in this series. They're not rolling over in a first versus last matchup last week of the season saying, guys, it's doomed, we're going promotion anyway. No, they're trying to win, and they're pulling out all the stocks, and I really do love that. And with the Jinx, they have a massive front line to try and defend it already. I think this is a great pick and puts Prismal in another good position to try and be a carry this game.
We're just going to give full-on aggression. They take off the boxing gloves, put on brass knuckles, and now they're going back at Mirage Alliance, because they are not giving up an inch with this composition as the Lucian Nami locked in for that bot lane 2v2. We'll see what the answer is here from Dardoch, and it's the Lulu for some safety in the bot side.
Yeah, the Lulu pick's fine. I think it's good. It's going to keep Prismo alive. Mirage Alliance clearly has designated him as the carry for this series. For Sajed on the other side, saying, okay, enough. I got bullied on Smolder last game. It's time for me to pick some Lucian. When is the last time, Mazel, you have seen a blue 4-5 Lucian pick? Lucian Nami.
It's been a long time. Yeah. It's usually on the other side of the picks in the first place. But hey, that shows a little bit of confidence from FlyQuest. They really wanted to make sure the top side of the map could be stable, and now they can feel confident that they can win that 2v2 on bot side.
Yep, and honestly, it feels like the stakes of this game very similar to the last one. Mirage Alliance got to try to play through bot. They got to try to get Will and Prismal going in this game in particular and try to carry through some of those team fights. As for FlyQuest, though, I favor their lane matchups on the top side yet again, as well as now they have the Lucianami. So Sajed can actually play the video game. I think Mirage Alliance is going to have their work cut out for them, but hey, stranger things have happened.
And you also have to remember the whole stakes of this series. Yes, it's first versus last place, but it is a spoiler ready to go for Mirage Alliance against FlyQuest, because FlyQuest need a 2-0 to finish first place in the regular season. They are off to a steaming start for that in a 1-game win already. See if this could be either the last game of our regular season or if Mirage Alliance can bring us the distance.
How funny would it be if in the dog days of the season, everything wound down, Mirage Alliance, they just take one off of FlyQuest as a mic drop to end it? I mean, that would be super entertaining, especially because, Lennon, it would mean we get another game. We could have a 6-game day here.
We could, which would be very exciting. And I would love to finish out the season on that here. Shaden's gonna be chunked pretty heavy. Quad's coming up. This is the problem. FlyQuest have that sustained damage. You do not want to take prolonged fights against them. And now they have the angle. Shaden going down first to first blood. He does. He flashes on the other side of it. It's traded to Alorum, though, as Surdy claims that one.
Wow. Mirage actually comes out ahead. I was not really sold on that play whatsoever. This is also going to delay the jungle clear from Shaden quite a bit. Prismal, he's also popped the Ghost, trying to find a little bit of damage onto his opposite number, but that's huge. Going for a level 1 against Olaf is a pretty bold prospect for Mirage, and they make it happen, paying dividends, getting a first blood, and favorable jungle positioning.
RJS just trying to go for those early trades on the Quad, realizing that once he gets the miasma and things, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get those trades consistently in. And now we got to look at the topside starts for both junglers. Means bot lane's going to take a little bit more priority here.
So now a big question as well is in the isolated matchup in top with the junglers pathing away, Surdy with the... Oh, hang on.
They don't have level 2. They don't have the combo. This is a win by Prismal and Dardoch, and they're chasing down Sajed.
Yeah, straight up level 1 all in. Lucianami, not that strong at that moment, and Jinx with the lethal tempo, able to just run forward and throw a lot of pain down. This 2v2, credit to Mirage Alliance for how they have played it so far this series. And the question I was going to pose was, Surdy did get that initial kill to pick up some extra boots. How is he able to try and leverage that in an isolated topside matchup with junglers pathing away? We will have to see, but Will is going to feel very good about pathing towards this winning bottom lane.
Well, we'll be spotted out on the ward going towards his red side, or at least Shaden's red side. Dardoch's first to move from bot lane, so a 2v1 could take place. Shaden realizing there could be trouble, though.
Prismal reset, so they cannot stick around for very long. I don't think there's any avenue to try and deny this red buff. Shaden, he's going to be just fine, and he's actually up ahead in camps despite the difficult start. They can't do this. It's not... Guys, this is not playable.
They are wasting a lot of time waiting around here. They will end up backing off the play, so Shaden just gets a bit of a tempo increase in the jungle. They will get the Scuttle Crab for Will, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. They really want to play it, but if you're going to go for the early bot side invade for the red buff, which we see a lot, by the way, you just can't recall Prismal. You have to walk in with all your members. The problem as well is that RJS had a wave bouncing against him, so he's not really able to join. And even though you have a nice skirmish on the bottom side of the map, the lanes are not in position. Now, Prismal with the Cull, he is going to try to scale into this game and be that big hyper carry that he needs to.
I like this move from Shaden, too, just matching in case this push gets punished by Mirage Alliance. Speaking of punishing, my goodness, these two ADCs just going at it this time around. The bubble lands, but no follow-up can be there from Sajed. Seems like a little bit of power going the way of FlyQuest. Oh, RJS. Oh, RJS. Those fangs sink deep, my friend, and you gotta kill the snake if you have a hope to live. Quad gets another solo on the series.
Wow, the Ignite and the minions barely not enough to take him down. Dardoch, supportal combat.
Flash.
No, there's no way. Surely. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Dardoch just going to walk away. RJS, I mean, credit, he tried. That looked way worse than it ended up being in the long run, but the result is all the same, and the CS is even worse. Quad, he's probably the entire 600-700 gold lead that FlyQuest has at this point. Well played to Quad yet again, finding an early game advantage all on his own.
You know, maybe it was a situation where, at least with snakes in a zoo setting, you have to get them to bite down on a cup to get venom, to get an anti-venom. Maybe it was just a situation like maybe RJS is the cup, and they just needed to get some anti-venom for later.
Yeah, you know, maybe.
No, does that work?
Yeah, sure, yeah. We'll run with it.
I think there's some saving graces there. Maybe we'll see if RJS could actually turn it around with a petrifying gaze of his own later on.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you. We'll see. We'll see if it pans out. Look, it could be said a snake's natural weakness is fire, so maybe you can throw that on that ignite and. Like you've seen Indiana Jones when they throw the torches down.
Yeah, of course. A torch equals ignite. There we go. We're back to the movie sphere of things on the
right.
On the
Oh, of course. This is how we're so good at our jobs, Len, and we bring everything full circle. So super intentionally, by the way.
As we do see, though, it is actually a focus towards the Dragon Pit for Mirage Alliance. They get their first dragon. I will say a 1K lead at 6.5 minutes for FlyQuest feels pretty good with the state of the comp they have. And I think that's where I want to zoom in a little bit more because the fighting will not stop for FlyQuest Challengers.
It definitely will not. And hang on, we might have an all-in top. Okay, everyone is just going to back away. And Sajed does have...
The Frozen Tundra is done. The Frozen Tundra is done. Surdy literally knew what was coming, and he takes off the head of the troll as Allura falls to another solo. And it's another game where the FlyQuest Challengers solo laters are just getting solo kills left and right.
And this is the problem. I mean, and look, it's Surdy, it's Quad. These guys are so good, but you just cannot have this happen if you're going to play spoiler in this series, Mazel, as Surdy. I mean, the quickness with which he punished that, I think, was so impressive. Immediately
was waiting
as soon as
for
the Frozen Tundra, was gone. And Olorum, just that split second of either not realizing or hesitating. Regardless, Surdy understanding that he can take that. He's still really close even without the Trundle W. Goes to show that Olorum might have had a chance. But as I was going to say, before that play happened, Sajed is also ahead in the bottom lane. Unlike last game, so FlyQuest is winning in every single lane right now. And this was sort of my concern for Mirage as we came into this game out of the draft is, how are you able to win the game before Prismal comes online? They've yet to really find an answer.
RJS and co are not in mid lane to punish Quad's push. Will was ready to go, but the rest of the team not around. Now Quad overstays a little bit. RJS could find a little angle. He realizes he definitely overstayed as the petrifying gaze comes through. It stuns under turret, and Quad's looking to turn it around. Will's burning. Will's not going to go down just yet, but Sajed and Prismal, they're biting and they're fighting. Sajed gets one. They're going to get the bubble. No, Chime misses it, and Dardoch survives for a little bit longer, but the fight is already done, and Sajed has a kill.
Oh my word, Mirage Alliance went for broke.
Oh my
RJS.
gosh.
Okay, all right, he's able to flash away. And dude, I was getting ready to pop off. Like, oh, the fire, the anti-snake, they got the anti-venom, right? But Quad, he lived it. And not only that, almost turned it around. I'm sure we'll probably get another look at that bottom side play as Sajed has now stamped his authority over that advantage. And it is safe to say that FlyQuest is cruising in this early game.
They are indeed, and Sajed, again, not very happy with the first game, being put on the back burner a lot of the time. It seems like it could be a very contentious early games here, as I do believe we have a little bit of a tech issue. Get back to it hopefully soon.
Yep. We'll probably be back very soon. A bit of a Wi-Fi problem, perhaps. You know, we built a huge story, or you all built a huge story about around Masu was the Wi-Fi warrior last.
Is there a
time.
Wi-Fi curse now for FlyQuest? Somebody's gonna always have bad ping.
Honestly, you know, it's Chime that's the one that's lagging a little bit, which is why we got the pause. Like, maybe Chime should play it out, and he could win MVP.
We'll see about that one. It could be. I think it's curious though when you talk about Chime a little bit more, because when I was talking with him, you know, he's a guy, he has seen LCS time, right? And I feel like he was one of the brighter points of that TSM team before they got out of the league. And it was shocking to me to see him back in NACL, because I feel like he had made that full-on push, and he feels like he's at the LCS level now. But he has taken a full-on stance of being the general, the shot caller for this team, and willing to take the bad news whenever he's the one that maybe leads them to bad decisions as well. But that's a growth that I love to see in our players in a developmental league.
Yeah, and I want to really agree with you with what you said. I was kind of surprised to see Chime back in Challengers as well, because I think he's an LCS caliber support even in an 8-team LCS. So good on FlyQuest, first of all, for picking him up. And also, I respect him a lot for not just saying, well, I'm back in Challengers, like collect paycheck and move on, right? Like, no, the fact that he's buckled down and said, well, if I'm back, I'm going to work on something that teams want me to work on. I'm going to be the general. I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to develop Sajed and you know, be a huge shot caller. And if that's something that he either felt like he was lacking or teams wanted him to do more, the fact that even though he is such an experienced player that plays to such a high level, being able to still identify something with his game that he can work on to make himself undeniable for the next split, I think is incredibly admirable.
And that's another big talking point. It's just FlyQuest with their scouting, with their pickups here. Obviously, getting to what would be, or I guess 3 what would be LCS caliber players as well, but also the scouting to Sajed and Quad. And a lot of the graces that we've seen this team be able to play through, even with some of the craziness we've seen in some of their games, it really has been a full-on development in a positive way for them as a whole, and a dominant one. They are fighting for first place. They are literally 1 win away from securing that first place, and that would be a double first place finish for both the LCS and the NACL side of the org.
Yeah, which hasn't happened, again, in 3 years. It was Cloud9 back in 2021. They also did it in 2020 spring as well, but it's been a long time since we've seen an organization finish both at the top of the LCS and the Challengers League or Academy. And I mean, FlyQuest, this is an organization, you talked about it a bit earlier, they have been working really hard to develop talent over the years and making, I mean, it feels like every single correct pickup, getting all the players, Quad, doing things like this. I mean, what a balanced roster this is from top to bottom, with prospects both from North America, from other regions, with veterans as well. You couldn't ask for much more.
See the fight onto Sajed. They were just trading pretty heavily back and forth, and then a bubble lands, and Dardoch just takes the chunk there. Polymorph doesn't last long enough there. Prismal tries to make a play into the bush.
That was pretty awesome movement from Sajed too. Getting Polymorph and making sure to not walk over the choppers, making sure to not get hit by the zap as well. And hey, it looks like we're back!
We're back, baby. Let's go. We're so back.
Back in the game.
And as we see the dust settling, FlyQuest in a leading position. Game that Mirage Alliance should have played spoilers into. Now they're looking back at mid lane onto Quad. They know he doesn't have Flash anymore, so they're trying to punish him. And this time he has no escape. They will kill the snake, and Will gets it.
They didn't even need Fire to do it. Hey, they got their level 6 on Will. That's huge. Genuinely, getting that kill back. Will at least trying to keep things competitive. Surdy, though, no. I mean, oh, Lord, he is putting the hurt down in this top lane this series.
Truly is. Chime. Oh, nice little move from Dardoch there. Some quick senses make him survive a little bit longer.
Dardoch walked away and stood still for a moment, and I thought he was going to emote on Chime, which would have been so funny. Okay!
Dude, he is literally stunting on Chime right now as he keeps dodging out of the bubbles.
LCS support? Oh, yeah! You can't hit a bubble! No, nice
Cast
movement,
the curse
though.
are real.
I know. It's not like
Will
it's one
has
of the
a good
hardest
angle.
skill shots.
Oh, they weren't confident. They don't have vision on him. He had the wraparound. Now they've bought so much time that Shaden, he's a little bit behind the play. He might still make it in time, though. Mega Death Rocket comes through, and Sajed, he gets locked down here. Shaden finally shows up, tries to get the win, becomes lightning, but can't do it. Quad was on his way, too. But FlyQuest Challengers, they make it out alive. So does Mirage Alliance.
That was such a funny play. It looked like the junglers were trying to one-up each other for who could go for the longer and more unnecessary flank, as it turned out to be Shaden, not really able to get into that fight. His bot lane does survive, but now he's under threat.
RJS not knowing where anybody else is besides Quad in the mid lane and Sajed in the bot side, so not going to go any further forward, rather. And we do have first items coming up. Quad has grabbed at least a little bit of scaling for himself.
Yeah, Round of Ages. I think Cassiopeia, Rise as well. Those were like the champions that were so excited when this item came back. They were like, yes, finally we have our Roa. We can stack up, get our health and our mana that we so desperately desire. Has the tier as well. Yeah, Quad, I mean, we're looking at a delayed power spike as a result. It's not going to be until after 20 minutes into the game that this Cassiopeia is really online. Fortunately, you have an Olaf that's quite strong.
I'm going to power up Quad and get a little bit of damage onto RJS too. They have Dragon up though now, and they're positioning for it.
They should be able... Well, I don't know. I mean, Mirage Alliance is in a good position, and Will, after a solid game number 1 for himself, he's 2-0.
They find Quad. Big petrifying gaze from Quad, though he is eviscerating RJS, but the Mega Death Rocket will claim the kill for Prismal. Now Will finds another one and goes on a killing spree onto the man Chime himself, and now they go for the Dragon.
And nicely done by Will and co to get another one back. I believe it was Prismal from downtown that picked up another one. He's the scaling win condition. Fly, it was just imperfect setup to go for it. They felt strong with how advantaged their lanes were, but they did not really do anything to keep Mirage Alliance out of the river. Shaden on the Dragon, Quad going for the fight, and it ends up being a favorable play for the Camels.
That's a second Dragon secured as well, so they'll be stacking their way to victory in that regard. There is the Telegrubbies being launched on the other side of the map by Shaden. Get clarification on what the stacks are at that point after he's able to take these down. And RJS actually looking for a trade on the Quad. I don't know if you want that, bud. Those fangs are hitting hard, and you didn't develop the anti-venom yet. Quad gets one, and another freaking solo bolo to FlyQuest Challengers.
How many do they have this series? That's like number 7, maybe?
It's farther than, I mean, they had like 3 apiece in game number 1, and now Surdy has 2. We've gotten, I think, 2 now from Quad as well.
Yeah, Surdy's only got 1 this game. The other one was on the invade, so I think that's 3 this game, and however many they had last game. Surdy had a lot for sure. Yeah, RJS didn't have his Indiana Jones torch. I mean, brother, you need the Ignite to go for the all-in.
All right, Will's making a play onto Surdy now, though. He does pop the ghost, so he has a lot of movement speed. Jed, he's in some trouble, so is Chime. Reswell playing pretty aggressively. RJS looking for it now, too. They go back to bot side to look at this. The heal used preemptively. Sajed dodging out, dodging, flashing, and can't do it, though. RJS is down. Prismal with a double kill.
Okay, nicely done. RJS says, hey, I just died. You know where they'd expect me to go? Mid. I'm going to go bot and get a kill, and it works out.
Oh, Surdy bit off a little bit more than he could chew. Or did he? He definitely did. Will gets the shutdown 650 smackaroos.
Yeah, he thought he was just going to try to eat a troll, but instead the monkey jumped down his mouth, and he definitely could not chew on that one. As we can get another look at this bottom side play, Prismal, yet again, I've been loving the trading pattern from this Mirage Alliance bot lane. RJS saying, screw the wave, I'm going to try to get my win condition online. Takes the Hex Gate into the fight, doesn't matter if he dies, because Prismal, he's able to pick up 1. He is able to pick up a 2nd as well, and I believe he has 3 kills as we are solely into this mid game.
I really like some of the little micro movements from Sajed in that, though. But, yeah, that's not enough when there's 3 people bearing down your neck. And now a Rift Herald started up by Shaden and FlyQuest Challengers representing fully in mid lane.
I feel like I'm having deja vu because this game, a pretty marginal gold advantage going into the mid lane. It's been a bit of a, Fiesta game. A little bit. We have a little bit of crazy fighting back and forth, about a kill per minute. Mirage Alliance, their jungler and their AD carry are really far ahead, but FlyQuest is generally controlling on the neutral objectives, particularly on the top side, and their solo lanes are really far ahead. It has resulted in a 1.5 thousand gold lead in their favor.
It's a 2-item spike for Quad now, too. So be waiting for the evolution of that one as we get to it. But a first tower still on the table here, and looks like mid lane's going to be that focus for FlyQuest.
They should be able to knock this one down without the Herald. Mirage Alliance, I think they recognize that. They're just making sure that RJS is safe to push up in bottom and try to trade that tier 1. But I think FlyQuest is too far ahead of the play because Surdy has already got a wave in top. So it should be 2 for 1 traded straight up in the towers without a Herald even needing to be dropped.
You can see those 6 grubs going to work there as you can get so much pressure on these turrets so fast. RJS trading back on the bot side, though, at least. Get a little bit of something back as Mirage Alliance will get their first turret of the game.
And RJS needs to be really careful. He does not clear out this wave fast enough before the rest of FlyQuest arrives. Mirage does have members roaming down. 4v3 should they want it. Surdy has TP.
They go over the wall. They could get the engage. There we go. But they knocked back Prismal? They still might get the kill anyways. No, they don't. Stunned in the gaze of FlyQuest dominance. As that's huge, and a turnaround for FlyQuest.
Oh no, Prismal, he got left behind, and he's like, guys.
Gotta see who hit the blast code.
It's like from the meme from, I think it's 2.5 Men, where it's like, I feel like we forgot something. If you forgot something, it wasn't important.
Who did
just
it?
Like the kids standing out in the rain. Because, yeah, Prismal.
Wait. Was it Prismal himself?
I think he might have missed. He might have.
I might get a little confirmation from that on my observers real quick. But
okay.
Chime.
If Prismal hit it, no remorse. But if someone else hit it, then it's the 2.5 Men meme. Either way, that ends up being a big deal because Quad gets a shutdown off of this.
Yeah,
500 gold on a
Casio. So much gold. It's actually so insane.
Okay, we can get it. Here we go. Here we go.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Who is it? Who is it? It was
Lulu.
No, it was Dardoch.
It was Dardoch. Dardoch! If you forgot something, it most certainly was important. You have a child standing out in the rain.
As we see now, FlyQuest almost 3,000 gold in the lead. And a couple plays going wide for Mirage Alliance, leading to our best team in the league running rampant.
They are most certainly looking to prove it. If they win this game, they will be, by standing, the best team in the league, and that's Shaden diving in to try to extend the advantage.
Surdy's just in the sideline. This is a 4v5, and already Dardoch half health. Dragon started up. They take it pretty quickly if they turn. They also want to turn on the fight. Look at Quad. He's looking for a big petrifying gaze here. They actually get the tidal wave in, so pulling in Mirage Alliance off of the Dragon. Will's in there.
Will.
He's trying to go for the Cyclone combo here, but nobody's following him up. Nobody's there. RJS is just stutter stepping behind the Dragon for some reason, and FlyQuest Challengers will take the objective and take the kill.
Oh, Will. I'm sorry, friend. I'm so sorry. He really tried, and I don't think the angle was great, which is maybe why Mirage didn't want to go in, but that gave 9-man sleep vibes, as now Mirage is going to try to fight back in the 45.
They're trying to fight it. They got it. They got an angle here. Oh, but the flashes come out. They actually take out Shaden RJS with the Crescent Guard, and FlyQuest have been duped. They lose a couple of their big members and some shutdowns to Mirage Alliance.
Maybe it was a 5-head play. Guys, lose the Dragon fight so that FlyQuest drops the Herald mid and tries to get more. They do get a couple of shutdowns back, and maybe even the mid tower. Laura will bash this one down pretty quickly with TP coming from Surdy.
Yeah, they've got Chime on the way too. He doesn't have Tidal Wave just yet, but it pulls Mirage Alliance off that mid lane siege, and FlyQuest will defend their turret.
And at the end of it all, it's yet again almost a kill per minute. But FlyQuest Challengers is 3,000 gold in the lead despite how close the kill score is. So much of that coming from their solo lanes. Quad, we said it would take until about 20 minutes for him to come online with the Seraphs and the Rod of Ages. Well, those have cashed in now. It is 20 minutes. He has those completed. Giant's Belt in inventory as he's maybe building towards a Rylai's. Level 14 as well. Highest in the game. This FlyQuest mid laner setting the bar for what it means to be a mid in LCS Challengers.
Oh, RJS. He just goes down. Quad now on a killing spree. Mega Death Rocket won't get the kill here. As the reindeer goes wide, it means that FlyQuest have full advantage because RJS is a big middleman for Mirage Alliance.
And Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that FlyQuest is not just pulling the Baron right here. Maybe they don't feel confident with Chime being chunked out, but they have push on the waves in a 4v5. RJ has no teleport to join. Seems like the mid lane tier 2, though, will be the focus. And hey, if the read is, guys, let's just not throw this game and close it out cleanly, I can subscribe to that.
Dude, Quad almost has 3,000 health. That's so insane for a Cassiopeia who can do so much sustained damage with the Fangs. It's very, very difficult to pick this team apart once they have a very stable team fight. Now they might be looking for a play on the back end of some backs. Oh, they connect the slow onto Will. And becomes lightning. The back does end up getting completed from Chime, so FlyQuest just barring Mirage Alliance from stepping forward.
Oh, I got interrupted.
Or did they? They got caught. That's big. Petrifying Gaze actually connects there. The traps actually buy a lot of time onto Shaden. They can't stick the damage, though. Now Chime's back to provide the sustain.
Yeah, Mirage's target selection has been a little all over the place.
Sajed has no chill, baby. Whoa. He's moving forward onto RJS.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Mirage has had opportunities to find kills, but they can't quite pick the right targets. Ooh. And now, Surdy, he's got Ragnarok. They need to be careful.
Yeah, he still has it. He was holding it that entire time, waiting for them to come under turret. And now we see some of those dominoes being set up for FlyQuest because they committed so heavily to defending that outer tower earlier. Now they have that to play off of.
Yeah, I mean, so much defense coming from it. And honestly, I would not have been surprised if Surdy popped R and just tried to turn it around. That is a 2-item Olaf supported by Anami. Decides to hold and show some restraint and maybe just set up for another fight, because FlyQuest, if they do anything well, they play together and they trust each other. I mean, again, a lot of that seemingly going back to Chime this split, but the entire team having that wherewithal to say, we fight together, we will win, and not making any big mistakes on their own.
Lorem finds a very angry Shaden. He's not going to follow him up, though, as he has the Frozen Tundra to get out of there. There was also a move from Will that way. RJS is going to walk into this bush here. Oh, he steps out of the Petrifying Gaze, but look how much damage Quad does. No way. No way. Chime wants the flash for it. Chime wants the flash for it. I know he does.
He's not Boom. He doesn't have that dog in him like Boom does. No, I think he was just a little out of range. RJS, he's going to be happy to survive that one. I think it was intentional by RJS. He was backstepping when he was face-checking that bush.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
for sure.
The fight was not winning.
I do really think so, though, because I think you know when you're facing up against this, there is going to be bush plays waiting to go, right? Especially if you don't have vision where you just saw them leave. So really heads-up play from RJS.
Yeah, and that goes to show, you know, we were talking about him. He's been one of the bright spots in Mirage Alliance. Look, it's not been a series. That's the Quad effect, baby. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But he is still a really high-level player that is capable of making these high-level plays. And I think just small things like that, like RJS's head is still in this game, and you know he can skill check you if you let him.
Been really nice to see him come back into the league as well after his time on CLG so long ago, it feels like. And at least coming back with a vengeance and trying to make something happen here. The last gasp effort for Mirage Alliance has to be there. 3.5k down, 24 minutes in. They will push onto this mid tower and get it. TP from Lorem will join the cause in mid lane. Dragon was already started up by FlyQuest, though, and that would be second Hex Dragon in a row.
Really nice move there from Mirage Alliance. Dropping that Dragon, though, and taking out the Bastion that is the mid-tier 1. And now with full control over Baron, Fly does have to face check.
Little house put there on the ledge just to make sure everything's going okay. They actually have a huge angle. Look how much damage Quad does.
He's so strong.
Will is just going to be gone. Quad goes on a rampage, and the snakes are rampant in this game. They're not Slytherin. They're not slimy. They are deadly. As now we have the Baron started up by FlyQuest Challengers. They don't have a jungler to contest the smite.
And this is going to be so incredibly difficult. I mean, Mirage Alliance, it feels like the game is over if they can't get this. Look at Prismal. He is the main late game carry. He's got to do something on this Jinx.
Bubble connects in Lorem, trying to find the player. Quad goes for it. RJS in there. He's not going to survive very long, though. Shutdown goes over. Lorem is still fighting, but so is FlyQuest. They know what this series means, and it would be a first-place finish.
Yeah, but the Baron, they don't get it. Mirage Alliance, I think they're actually fine with how that goes. 2 for 1. Prismal, he found so much damage in that fight, and even though once a turn came onto him, he got one shot, the damage was dealt. Fly forced to back away, and the game at least does continue. Our hopes at a 6-game day our desires at potentially seeing FlyQuest dethroned could still be alive if even a long shot, Fly pings immediately onto the Baron. They know they have priorities set up around this. Push in top as well. TP's on both solos.
Big differences are, though, that Quad is now on 3.5 items. You also have Sajet at 3 items as well. Some serious damage potential coming out there, but it's about picking them apart from their team. Alorum's going to be very important in that. He also has his second item now as well. RJS is on the top side of the map here. You got to be a little careful, but Mirage Alliance, they want to go on a play on mid lane. They want to try to catch Sajet and Chime. He does get pinned against the wall there, but they don't have the engage to follow it up.
Mirage Alliance needs to answer their side waves. They have double teleport
RJS
advantage.
is dead? Oh my gosh, they try to get the engage off the back of it now, but Surdy is on his way, and doom has come for Mirage Alliance. Shane is on a killing spree, and they go right to the Baron.
I think that's going to be the Baron unless Will can do anything about it. No, okay, it's just going to be the push down mid. Answer for tier 2. Mirage saying we have lost this engagement, trying to get something back. That's teleport canceled for Quad. I think it's going to be too much.
There. The hands are too much. Baron, as they do take the Rally Cry Baron buff. Mid lane, it does get broken open by Mirage Alliance. Now Quad's looking for a deep flank.
Yeah, Surdy is walking in. He's going to find the entirety of Mirage.
Oh my god, he's just in a 1v3. Oh no! He's still going! He stops Dardock in his tracks. Quad gets the kill anyways. And Mirage Alliance, that doom clock has hit midnight.
Is that Sniper or Surdy? We saw it in LCS with the 1v3, and now Surdy does it too, maybe proving that he wants to be at that level. And FlyQuest, Baron in hand. I don't think they can end the game just yet, but they will at least break the base.
They're going to try to. Sajet is already in mid lane, ready to go. They're on to that turret. RJS is going in now as well, but Sajet stepping forward. That Crescent Guard can't save you very long. RJS wants to fight back. He might get Sajet. He does. He shuts down the carry, but he goes down anyways.
And that actually might prevent FlyQuest from getting any inhibitors here. There are 3 members from Mirage Alliance alive, 4 with Will now respawning. And okay, they get 1. And they'll get the tower in bot. I don't think they can continue for this. Although, both their solo laners are level 16, so maybe they can.
They do end up getting the mid and the bot inhibs themselves. Surdy sticking around a little bit long. Does get put back, but FlyQuest want to fight back. They want to go forward. Surdy is going on Prism. Oh my god, he's just gone.
Oh my goodness.
They've done it. They still have the Baron. Oh my god, it's been a renaissance in terms of development in this league. And FlyQuest have been at the tippy top of it the entire season long. They were looking for a first place finish, and they'll do just that. Both the LCS and the NACL for the first time since 2021 spring. FlyQuest are your dominators of NACL Spring 2024.
And what a beautiful series to finish it off on. We had an action-packed one. And Surdy. On the
Get the man in LCS, saying it over and over again. He absolutely deserves it, but what an incredible finish to a split for FlyQuest Challengers. I know this meant a lot to them. I know getting first place meant a lot, and it pays out in dividends.
I mean, the 1v3 at Red Buff, the 1v4 in the base says
the like
bring
7 solo bolos that he had, whatever, however many. Somebody will at me with the amount, but my god, it's actually insane. Now, we have to take a minute to calm down a little bit after that one. We're going to step away. We'll be back with our interview after a short break.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long. Or a churro, and probably not a pretzel either. They also said under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. To which we said, but we already made them. And they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.
Welcome back, one and all, to the Rally Cry post-game interview. We are here with none other than the wolf in the top lane, Surdy for FlyQuest Challengers, after a domineering performance this time around and a securation of first place for FlyQuest Challengers. So I gotta ask you, man, it's been a long split. There's been a lot of things going for you. What has been the kind of biggest lesson learned for you as this top lane has evolved?
I think the map changes were really weird at the start. And honestly, just like finding where our team's identity kind of lay was the biggest step for us, and we're still working on it. I mean, it's all a work in progress. We're an academy, but I feel like we're slowly but surely getting there. It's getting a lot easier.
I like it.
Yeah. I feel like Season 14 had some bigger changes than we've seen recently, and it's great to hear that you all have still been improving on that. But I've got to ask about this series in particular, because, Surdy, we witnessed some pretty violent actions from you throughout the series on both the Olaf and the Darius. Was this just like taking out the frustration, or what did we just watch?
I mean, I was pretty upset after yesterday. I think everybody on our team was. Like, we all kind of agreed as a team unanimously that we didn't want to lose a single series. So losing a series, especially like that, was really depressing. But I'm glad it happened before playoffs instead of doing it, because I think every team, when they're in first, they kind of need this kick. It's really important.
They absolutely do. I think we've seen it actually work out a lot of times here in our playoffs as well. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit, because you're one of the many of our players who are juggling school and NACL at the same time. You were telling me that just before the games today, you had a bunch of assignments you had to turn in.
Yep.
So how has it been kind of juggling that lifestyle with NACL?
It's all about time management, of which I've none. So kind of just like
same,
doing my best. But online school is pretty easy. I have an easy time with it. SLU's like one of the better schools, especially with the collegiate program, the nationally recognized university, of course. So the programs here aren't bad at all. Time commitment's not that bad. My online courses are asynchronistic, so I can do them whenever. I can get on at 1 a.m. and do my homework, which is great, because when we're doing double or triple blocks, I'm not going to get on my laptop until 1.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
That is definitely nice, being able to hold your own schedule a little bit and work your way through that. It's great to hear that there's a balance happening. And Serty, I mean, the last thing I really want to ask you is, now looking forward to playoffs, we finished a very long regular split. How do you feel about your play personally, right? Because you were saying you, like, coming into this year, you wanted to prove that you would be alone at the top, right? And do you feel like you've been able to do that so far?
Not exactly on the fashion that I'd want to. I think I've shown that I have the highest highs of anybody in NACL, like in top lane, definitely. Some of the other people that they pegged as being the best top laners basically either need to call 3 people constantly in order to like lane verse me, or they just die. So I think I've done a pretty good job of solidifying that. I think the best thing for me is doing well in internal scrims, like either when I'm subbing in for an LCS team or when FlyC is playing the LCS teams. That kind of shows to the other orgs, hey, I'm better than your top laner, and I cost less. Like, what do you have to lose?
Hey, exactly. You hear him vying for himself. I already said it. Somebody's got to pick this man up for the LCS. Now, I do want to give you some time before we let you go. It's our final interview of the regular season. I want to give you a chance to give some shout-outs and anybody you want to talk about before we let you go.
I mean, shout out to my family, shout out to my teammates. It was my mom's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to her. Shout out to my girlfriend, and I have one big kind of super fan, I guess. His name's Churchy. He is an old Korean guy. He owns a laundromat, and he watches all of my games. He always gives me words of encouragement, so shout out to him. I love that guy.
Yeah, I love that.
That's so sweet. I love that.
Well, thank you so much, Serty. I'm sure we'll be getting to talk to you much more in the playoffs. We'll say adieu to you, and I'll take it back over, my friend. Goodbye. And that means, Hawk, we have to round out the final bits of a regular season that has seen some of the highest highs and maybe some of the lowest lows. But we have our standings set for the playoffs.
I mean, what a road it has been to come this far, and as you say, this will be your complete playoff standings. FlyQuest now with that 2-0 victory, standing alone at the top in first place. However, Maryville and Supernova in particular, hot on their heels, my friend.
They definitely are. I love the way that the first series worked out, and in the end, it was just such a back and forth one, especially with some of those one-sided games. But it does mean that AoE will have a much more difficult time to start off the playoffs here. But that middle of the pack, it's spicy.
Oh yeah, 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, and then AoE at 3 and 6. Like, yeah, it is a very spicy middle of the pack, and I love how it feels like anyone can beat anyone. In this top 3, there's been this air of, oh, they are the best, and they're not really dropping series to the other teams. However, they have dropped games to the other teams, and everybody, every single team and player in these playoffs has shown how competitive they can be, and I am definitely expecting that to continue into the playoffs.
I am excited, though, because we get one final Samsung SSD Fast 5 for the regular season here. And we'll see if there's anything that stands out to us specifically. Serty with the fastest 100 CS there at the top. Kenvi actually showing up pretty heavily with the jungle fastest level 6. But a lot earlier kills for the bot lane ADCs this time.
Yeah, and Lennon, fastest legendary at sub 9 minutes for quad is crazy. That is such a fast item completion.
He had 2 items at like 18 minutes, I think, in one of the games today. It was actually insane. But that is our Samsung SSD Fast 5. Some different focuses here with a lot of playoff teams in the upper echelons of this one. And now, that being said, it's an interesting situation to look at the playoff bracket. And I do believe we have it ready to go. Oh my gosh, it already looks so beautiful. And we're going to bring that one up. This is the Thunderdome for the NACL spring playoffs. And this is where it all starts. You see all the matchups on the side so you can start getting excited.
Oh yeah, these teams going to be pummeling each other, you already know. I mean, look at that wild card and Fear slotted in next to each other. They've had a rivalry brewing the whole time. AoE, with their loss today, they will be FlyQuest's opponent. And also, Maryville and DSG, maybe 2 of the hotter teams in the NACL going up against each other in the first round.
The beauty of it is double elimination. So even with those tough matchups in the first, there's always that lower bracket run, and we've seen some incredible ones in recent past as well. So give you a little screenshot of the bracket coming up, which will be starting off next week, Thursday, after LCS. So we'll be right after LCS, just like normal, but it'll be playoff time, baby. So I just want to give one last big thank you to you, Hawk, for joining me on this desk. I just want to get any more thoughts from you before we go into playoffs and anything else you want to talk about.
I mean, what a time to be alive where we can watch LCS into Challengers on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the next couple weeks. Like, that's just going to be great. We love North American League of Legends right here. And Mazel, I mean, what a pleasure it was to be on NACL for the first time with you, my friend. I had an absolute blast. Hope everyone out there did as well.
Nobody will be lacking for energy when we're in the room here. But I just want to
not.
also say some huge thanks to Rally Cry, to Load Screen, to Emily, our producer, to Cinzia, our producer as well, to our observers, Kai and Caddy. You guys have been incredible this split, and I couldn't and wouldn't be doing this without you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We wouldn't be here without the players, so make sure you give them all the love. And we'll see you on Summoner's Rift, and we'll see you for playoffs on Thursday.